lane, you net it.
I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some Misha, stick it in the bullroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some Misha, stick it in the bullroom. E-pop got me waiting 3 more hours. Sticking all these years higher than a tower. Having all these nodes feel like superpowers. Investing all this bread, never been a coward. Call me Mr. Bond, money in the vault. I stay in the front, feeling like the goal. Don't worry about the haters, not the detonator. I'll kill in every market, call me Terminator. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some Misha, stick it in the bullroom. I've been getting on my BNB and stacking these. Pairing it with EMP and then I'm LP. Gotta get myself a bag before the bull run. Gotta take some Misha, stick it in the bullroom.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to EMP.Money. My name is AJ, I am the team lead here, and this is our daily, well, twice weekly AMA. As always, I'm joined by my co-host with the most, and fellow team member, LA, how are you?
Hello.
Awesome. Alright, guys, great to have you, LA. We have a lot of updates today. LA, am I coming through okay? My audio seems a bit low. Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Alright, sorry about that. Hopefully that's a little better. If not, at least everybody can hear me, it sounds like. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the chat. Appreciate you guys. Alright, awesome. So, sorry about that. It wouldn't be an AMA without some sort of technical difficulties. We're project leads, not YouTubers, so there you go. But anyway, before we get started, again, lots of updates today to give. A lot more about Sparkswap, but we'll definitely touch on Fusion and L1X. But before we get started, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. That really helps our algorithm. LA, I saw people hanging out in the live chat like an hour early today, huh? Shout out to them.
Yeah, I got on there an hour early and I was like, oh, I'll for sure be the first one on there today. There were already 3 people who had started the convo on there an hour before. I was like, wow, I'm impressed.
I love it. People are raring and ready to go on this Monday. So, yeah, shout out to all of you. Again, that's a great sign of all the awesome engagement and excitement around the ecosystem. Let's keep that momentum going for sure. So, all right, we're going to start off with L1DEX, and specifically the L1X Wallet. So, the wallet was approved on the Chrome Store last week. This was a significant step, forward towards the public unveiling. But the L1X team, again, let me make it perfectly clear, we are not part of the L1X team, and the L1X team is really the ones that are putting out the wallet. So, that being said, they decided to integrate a little more additional security features and other things that will help with the infrastructure, allowing the wallet to update seamlessly. Again, a wallet is essentially just software, so it needs to go through the proper channels to that you don't have to re-download the wallet every time there's an update. So all those automatic updates are now going to be implemented. And again, there will be another version of the wallet, V1.2, that will be implemented. So I bring all this up because we're still building L1DEX behind the scenes. We have all the UI finished. We have all the majority of all the contracts finished now that we've been working with the SDKs in terms of the liquidity pools or balancer pools rather, and then staking the liquidity. But our hands are tied until we can really get a functional wallet. Even though MetaMask and Ravi will be interoperable with the DEX, there are very specific things that have to happen. Again, we've compared it to dominoes. You gotta have the first domino fall before the next one, and so on and so on. So, and another analogy would be, we're both at a stoplight right now, or a stop sign here in America, and we're waving each other on to go. But each person saying, no, no, you go first. And another person saying, no, no, go ahead, you go first. So again, we're at this kind of a limbo right now. It doesn't mean that we're delayed. It doesn't mean that there are, fundamental issues we're running into. It's just, we're as transparent as we can be with all of you, and there has to be, again, certain things that happen before we can continue to move forward on our development roadmap as well. So hopefully that gives everybody a bit of an update. Again, we gave an update in writing on all of our socials late last week, and we should have another update sometime this week as well, and some other social media updates that again will help us continue to build our exposure while we're finalizing the actual code. So, LA, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, you said it really well, but just to reiterate, I know sometimes we make posts and updates in our group, and it's easy to get frustrated about certain things like the wallet not being ready yet and that kind of thing, but it's just important to understand that we are L1DEX and we don't actually have control over the timing of when the wallet comes out and that kind of thing. We're building around that, and there's certain things, as AJ said, that have to happen in order for us to finish what we're building. And we are going to continue to relay every piece of information that we have as we have it in regards to the things that we're not directly building, like the wallet. But if you want it straight from the horse's mouth, of course, make sure you're in all of L1X's groups as well.
Yeah, no, great point, LA. Again, if you want to, get the ball rolling, definitely be obviously be respectful, but continue to engage on L1X side to get updates, hopefully even faster than we can give them. But yeah, I mean, it's all coming together. I know, not only our team, but the vast majority of the L1X team. The priority right now is that wallet. And then once that's out and people are able to claim their tokens, even though you're not able to outright sell them, there'll be a lot of use cases for that token, and that's kind of the underlying topic of today is utility as well. So a token is powerful, but in with good economics, but a token is even more powerful when there's actual utility and use cases. So, just being able to claim L1X is great, but it's even better when you can, stake that L1X and earn, or go into nodes and earn that way. So there's a lot of infrastructure that has to happen on L1X native layer before, other devs. I mean, we're the first devs really building on L1X because the DEX, again, is vital. So that we're on the front lines as well, and we want it to be done ASAP too. So, but again, we're just giving more background into this process. So, hopefully that transparency, gives you confidence in what we're doing. But all right, I think that really, again, short and sweet on L1DEX. Anything else, LA? Anything in terms of socials? I know we have something in the works. We're probably not ready to announce that yet, right?
Not yet, but we're going to continue to grow our socials. I was checking up on our DBank standings today. We're continuing to move up the ranks in all of our accounts, so definitely make sure you're following us on DBank. We have a new post that went out today. But yeah, we're growing really well organically, and we have a few things in mind as well that are going to help supercharge that.
Amazing. All right, awesome. And LA, my son says hi. He came in and wanted to talk on the AMA. So sorry
Aw.
for that background noise. All right, awesome. So all right, good deal. All right, so moving on to Fusion. We did a really heavy, very thorough run through last week on just how bullish, the entire ecosystem that we're building plays into Fusion. So I would encourage all of you to listen to that. Again, the same sort of thing, I just was elaborating on for L1DEX. It also applies with Fusion as well. We could launch Fusion sooner, but with not having the infrastructure in place or utilities, or in this case, revenue streams supporting Fusion, it is 10 times more powerful and attractive with those things in place. So we talked a lot about this in the last AMA. Again, please go through and listen. But the whole idea is really getting, not only this foundation built, but also building the community, getting all the eyes back onto the EMP ecosystem, and really, again, setting up those revenue streams to feed Fusion, all along. So now, instead of a unpredictable success, we have an actual success, and that again is everything we're doing moving forward. We're taking as many variables out of the equation as we can. Again, Fusion limits the quote unquote bad actors, or the ability to get dumped on. It takes that prisoner dilemma away, and we're also implementing that in terms of the launch too, where we're doing everything in our power to guarantee a successful, unprecedented, successful launch. It's just, that plays into why it may seem that Fusion is also a bit delayed. And it is. I mean, we've been very open and honest about that. We were hoping to have it out sooner than now, obviously. But in retrospect, it may be a good thing because now it can be even more successful. So, LA, you want to again elaborate on that? You did such a great job on the last AMA, but
Yeah, definitely check out our last AMA from Thursday for our full detailed run through on that because we did quite a long segment on it. But just in a nutshell, what we did cover is that everything we're doing right now, we're doing it very strategically to set up the most powerful, strong, sturdy foundation for the launch of Fusion. A community that's growing massively week by week, turning all eyes on us and the EMP ecosystem, setting up these powerful external revenue streams that will flow into Fusion and not have to be set up once Fusion launches, but are already powerful and on track and flowing in right when Fusion launches. All of that setting up this really powerful foundation for the launch of Fusion to uh, make its success almost inevitable. Um, that's kind of the run through of what we went through, but for the full detailed, definitely listen to last week's.
yeah, no, 100%. So, and again, as we move through this, please make sure to ask any questions or if you have any comments in the live chat, or any of the AMA question channels on our Discord as well. So, all right, that really again is all the updates for Fusion. I hope that I can get on here, in the not too distant future and give an actual date. Nothing would make me more happy. But we're continuing to move forward regardless, on all fronts. So, and again, a big part of that is Sparkswap. So we have some super great things in the works for that, which we're going to into now. But I also just want to say too, like what we talk about on the AMAs, we're as transparent as we possibly can be, but there are so many irons in the fire behind the scenes and we learned our lesson a little bit with Fusion. Again, I take full responsibility that we may have we did start teasing Fusion maybe a bit too early. So we're learning that even though again we've never given a date, we've never missed a deadline. Um, I understand that it can be frustrating. So we've learned with that, and my point to saying all this is we have about 4 or 5 different things just on Fusion alone, not even including what I'm about to go into with Sparkswap that we haven't even really talked about, and is massive in terms of revenue and future success of Fusion. So again, I think it's easy to come on the AMA and say, well, I'm here for Fusion, and they only talk about it for 5 minutes. But you have to realize there's so much more, in the background that's happening, and all of this will come to light when it has the most impact to do so. So again, that's just one little anecdote I wanted to say, and that's not, I'm not again not trying to divert attention anywhere else. It's just all how this all has to play out. So, all right. Again, Elliot, anything in regards to that as well before we move on to Sparkswap?
No, very well said.
All right, awesome. All right, so Sparkswap. Again, this is going to be the most updates just because we have the most momentum right now. With that, things are looking really good. I know, on some of the AMAs, I said the bridge is days away. I don't think I ever said the bridge would be here this weekend. Obviously, now it's Monday, and I think some people misconstrue my words for their own narrative. But that being said, we are days away. I mean, we were super close. We just had an amazing dev meeting. Again, just in full transparency, one of the issues was we're running into a gas issue with new chains like Pulse. Depending on the network activity, the gas fees can fluctuate tremendously. And when it comes to a bridge, that is really important because if a transaction fails, you don't want tokens, to be lost or without a support desk other than our Telegram. You don't want people having a failed transaction and thinking that their tokens are gone. So it's really important that we get that right, and we did. So over the weekend, that fix is now done. There's a few more things that have to happen. Just again, speaking on the infrastructure and the rollout. Again, we have to have the pulse side liquidity for the farm in EMP. So that will come with an EMP farm. Again, that will be something we implement simultaneously with the bridge. That was a bit up in the air, but now we have a game plan on that. And so, there's a lot of things that will come together in a very short amount of time. And we are planning on doing a stealth launch of the farm and the bridge because, we don't want the floodgates to open and everybody to jump right in, and then we get bottlenecked because there's too much volume. So we have to scale appropriately, and we have all the things in place to make that happen. So again, just bear with us. There'll be updates, as we go. And again, we probably will not start emissions on the EMP farm immediately, just so we avoid, people getting an unfair APR. But the idea is that you will, want to bridge over some EMP to be able to earn on these farms, and make a, again, not financial advice, just make a decision based on what's good for you. So, all right, that was a bunch of alpha for that right there. Again, bridge is almost here, and remember the bridge fees will go to feeding Spark directly. So there was also a long discussion over the weekend about how APR is calculated, and we can only do our best in calculating APR, but as soon as we start adding more farms and pools, the APR in the farms and pools will go down because there's only a certain amount of spark to go around. It's that's we've been extremely forthcoming and transparent with all that, and that's when we see Sparkler really begin to shine because Sparkler APR could actually go up rather than down because again it's based on real yield and the fees that the platform generates. So those that maybe not really paying attention to Sparkler right now, they think they're getting a better APR in the farms. Again, that is all part of the multifaceted ecosystem, and there is no right or wrong answer. But the one right answer is that Sparkler is the long-term play. So if you want to continue to earn from the protocol and essentially become a part owner of Sparkswap, you have to be in Sparkler, and that is all part of the long-term plan. So LA, I know I'm all over the place today. I'll get back to our notes, but anything you want to add to that discussion?
I was just sitting here thinking about how excited I am that the bridge is about to launch and that our emperors are going to be earning in the farms on their EMP and just it's all very exciting stuff.
Yeah, no doubt, LA. Well, and again, we that I think as a community, when the bridge is finally here, it's up to all of us to shout it from the rooftop. So,
Hmm.
and we are not going to do a referral reward on the bridge. I know that's been a lot of ways other protocols have gained adoption. We're not really going to worry about a referral because we know that it will be a better and safer option than anything out there. And, all of you spreading the word about the bridge, you're helping your own bags, indirectly, because that means more volume and more fees that go to Sparkler. So, again, I know that was another question over the weekend as well. So, yeah, and again, yeah, right, go ahead, Ella. Yep.
I was gonna say if you want to know how to really help your own investment, every video you see, every tweet you see, every single piece of social media you see, just take those 10 seconds, leave a comment, press the like, press the retweet or repost buttons. It takes so little time, but if everyone does it, it has a massive impact. And it takes very little to invest in your investment.
Yeah, I love it, LA. Absolutely. And again, even if you are completely tapped out from a financial standpoint, you can still be extremely helpful to the protocol and your own bags through stuff like this. So, all right. We have seen a bit more of a pullback today as well. Again, we're never really going to come on an AMA and discuss price. Um, but remember, there's many things that are both you know, positive and negative with price fluctuation. So, with a dip, it gives people a chance to DCA. It allows for more of a healthy foundation for the next rise up. Again, you can't just go up and to the right forever. Unless it's part of the actual way the token is created. We don't have any taxes on our token. And that is, again, a testament to having a healthy chart without that forced action. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute in terms of future use case, not having a tax. So, but yeah, we're that's why it's important. You always have some dry powder, or you take profit when things go up, and then you buy the dip, just to continue to DCA as we grow. And really, another really important thing, which we talked about on a few other AMAs, people have this misconception that it's the amount of emissions that are hurting the price. And yes, in the short term, again, the more inflation, the more potential selling pressure on the token. But Sparkler is the difference in that. And even with the same amount of emissions, as the token price goes down in value, that is less selling pressure in terms of dollar value when that happens. So again, to illustrate my point, our emissions are locked at 80,000 spark per day, and that's distributed amongst all the farms and pools. Well, again, at a dollar, that's $80,000 of potential selling pressure on Spark. But at 50 cents, that's only $40,000 of potential selling pressure. And, we've seen with 41% of the circulating supply locked up in Sparkler, there's a lot less selling pressure on Spark than what meets the eye. And again, there's a lot of things that play into that. But those going into Sparkler are earning more responsibly and on a long-term basis without ever having to sell the token. And as we find, different support levels, it's actually a way the protocol can kind of regulate itself because it's much less selling pressure when, in terms of dollar value, when the price does dip. So, all right, again, LA, anything you want to elaborate on that before we move on to the bullet points?
Nope.
All right, so again, I was kind of all over the place, depending on my notes today. So let me just kind of go recap, and make sure I don't miss anything, before we get started here. All right, so, again, we talked about dips, so, man, I'm moving through it. I didn't even, stick to my notes, verbatim, but we're covering all the bases. So, all right, I think, that covered all that. Again, Sparkler, really, we say this over and over again, we're not going anywhere, and I think that is what people really need to focus on, is that we're not a fly-by-night project. We have major plans for Spark and Sparkswap, and all of that will continue to feed Sparkler and the Spark token. So, you can set yourself up now to reap major benefits in the future. And, just to reiterate, we are going to move away from the inflationary model altogether. So we're not ready to tell people when we're going to do that. But those that are, again, accumulating and getting their positions in Sparkler are going to be set for the future. And that really boils down to being a good crypto investor. The idea is that you're not trying to time the market, buying the bottom and selling the top, but really setting yourself up to have exposure to ecosystems that you believe in. And again, whether that's DCAing or getting involved in part of the protocols that give you ownership of that protocol, I mean, those are all things that over the long run you should definitely be prioritizing rather than swing trading or trying to hit and run, so to speak, on the protocol. So, all right, the liquidity is still looking really, really good. Even on this dip, our liquidity and market cap have been hand in hand. Um, there's so many things as well that are built into the ecosystem that are amazing. And again, now that all of you have been here for about a half an hour, we're going to start giving more alpha for those that hang out. We will be having a new rehypothecated farm ASAP. So again, I'm not going to say when. Just keep an eye out for when that happens. But we're adding another farm within hopefully the next 24 hours, and that will help again with fees and more revenue to Sparkler. So the more rehypothecated farms that we can implement, the better it is for everybody. And so that farm will be coming. I'm not going to say what farm it is, but just keep an eye out over the next, again, few hours or day, hopefully sooner. And again, that will just be more feeding the ecosystem. Again, 41% of the circulating supply is locked up. Hopefully, we'll have some even better updated numbers on that by Thursday. And that means that there really is a lot less spark in circulation than it appears. So that is really, really bullish. And yeah, we're going to continue to market. LA, you want to talk about that real quick? Some of the upcoming AMAs before I drop some more alpha?
Yeah, for sure. We are not slowing down marketing wise. We are going to continue to make sure that Sparkswap is on everybody's mind and everywhere they look and everywhere they see. We have 3 AMAs coming up this week, starting tomorrow afternoon at 12:30 Eastern. So I'll be posting the link and schedule for that, and we're going to keep setting up more and more stuff to keep the fire burning.
Amazing, yes. So we have a jam-packed week ahead, not only with the bridge, but this new farm, and one last bit of alpha today, and it plays into our topic of use case and utility. We have we have not one, not two, but 3 potential things on the horizon, whether you call them games or smart contracts, or again, I'll leave that a bit vague, but 3 things that could be here in the next few weeks, that will be additional use case for Spark itself. And all 3 of these things are brand new utilities that we have not seen before. So this is really exciting. And I think, again, to that circulating supply argument, you know, there's a few things that help with token price. One obviously is buying pressure, but number 2 is supply and demand. So just because a token is scarce doesn't necessarily mean that it's more valuable, but it does mean that when a token becomes scarce and there's buying pressure, that is a recipe for exponential growth. So what we're doing right now is we're continuing to build out utility and use case so that when the buying pressure happens, there's a lot less Spark available, and that will again help push the price upwards. And remember, the higher the price of Spark, the higher the APRs in Sparkler, the higher the APRs in the farm. So it really does benefit you to want to see a higher Spark price. And those that just continue to sell Spark without taking profits responsibly are essentially shooting themselves in the foot, because you can end up making way more over the long run through fusion. So again, we are not slowing down. If anything, we're ramping up. We have a ton coming. We're expanding our development team for Sparkswap specifically. That way we can manage both full-time development on Sparkswap and Fusion. So there's just so much happening. And LA, it seems like we always have our bullish dev meetings right before an AMA. So I can't really give too much more
Literally seconds
details.
before.
Right, exactly. But
Yeah.
yeah, you want to elaborate on that? Go ahead. Yeah. Or anything else?
I don't know what I can say.
Yeah, I know it's gonna be crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all I can say is just really watch the announcements and pay attention to the site this week and the next few days, especially. Just be very aware of what's going on, be in the groups, and there's lots of exciting stuff coming your way.
Yeah, totally. So again, I know Ella and I have been going nonstop, so I'm feeling the burn today. So we're gonna try to wrap it up a little bit early. But Ella, I know there's a lot of questions. I saw some good ones in the chat already. But you want to move into Q&A or anything else that I missed about SparkSwap specifically? Go ahead.
Yeah, we can move on to some questions. I'm just
Okay.
scrolling back up because I know there were some good ones near the top. Well, at the very top, would it be good to increase the multiplier to 4x for the rehypothecated farms and decrease the non-hypothecated farms and pools to 1x so more ink can be earned?
Yeah, so again, this person is a very is on the ball and paying attention, and yeah, so yeah, we're not gonna adjust the multipliers with the pools, like only, we're actually going to add another rehypothecated farm. So that's what I was saying earlier. And then with that, it will adjust the different allocations. Um, so things will level out a bit more. And again, be prepared. APR will go down, but the hope is that it puts more buying pressure on Spark, and again incentivizes Sparkler more. And then when people do understand that, it actually makes Spark go up in price, which again makes the APR go back up again. So it's a very delicate balance. It's not, you know, something that we can just set and forget. It takes a lot of, tweaking, especially the more farms and pools that we add. But all that will settle out, as the protocol continues to mature. But yeah, so the short answer is yes, we will be adjusting some of the multipliers, but it will be more dependent on the new farms, not trying to just, arbitrarily adjust the multipliers.
Awesome. All right, here's another one for you. Will there be in and out fees for the EMP farm, and will it be single staking?
Yeah, so I love this question too. We have to have the liquidity, so we're still moving through that. I'm leaning towards a farm, again because it's much easier. A single staking, doesn't really do much for an LP pair. There has to be LP, and so we're gonna see a lot of it with treasury funds. But yeah, the idea is that we're rolling out a farm, not a single staking pool, with the launch of the bridge. And yeah, I do think we will have at least a very minor farm fee. And then that EMP will then actually either be burned or come back to the treasury as we prepare for fusion. So yeah, again, those are some things that we're not 100% sure on, but again, some more alpha for everybody at the end that we're working on. But regardless of whatever we do, the EMP and the eShare farms will benefit EMP in more ways than one, for sure.
Ooh la la.
Yeah.
This question is similar. Can you tell us what EMP will be paired with in Sparkswap?
Yeah, so again, we're not. That's something I'm not ready to comment on. But it will be. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it on the AMA, but we have an idea. We actually have two ideas. So I'll let all of you speculate on that. But it may be more than one farm as well.
Mm-hmm. Will tokenomics for EMP and eShare change in Fusion?
So that's a loaded question. We could do a whole AMA on that alone. I mean, fundamentally, there's no migrating. There's not gonna be, an EMP v2. There's not gonna be an eShare v3. So the tokens themselves, are not gonna be, altered. But the tokenomics of how the platform works, I mean, there's major changes with that. So I would say definitely go back and listen to one of our AMAs that's more focused on fusion, and it'll give you a better overview. But a short answer is, eShare gets its utility from being the only transactable token in Fusion. Again, under the hood, that means constant buying pressure from other assets on eShare or energy. Again, eShare and energy are the same thing. It's called energy when it's inside of Fusion, and eShare when it's outside of Fusion. And then EMP, again, we're basically eliminating selling pressure on EMP. So, and we're doing that again through you have to sacrifice or contribute your EMP into Fusion to be able to earn. So there will be volatility there will be people that just swing or speculate on EMP, but once they dump, um, they have to buy back at a higher price. So it's only a one-time problem. And again, as we march back towards PEG. So yeah, does that help, LA? I don't know if you want to elaborate. That was definitely a loaded question, but yeah,
No, I think you kind of nailed it.
okay.
Um, this one's funny. Could there be a quick game to be added that feeds Sparkler? Something like Pancake Swap has.
So again, I would say yes, and keep an eye out. So again, I don't want to give away, literally everything that we have for the next 3 weeks. But there will be direct use cases, and again, whether you call them games or contracts or you know, uh, again, when I say game, I think that could be a very broad term. So yes, there will be other use cases for Spark that will feed Sparkler, put it that way.
And Hot Llama says, I've noticed there's an exclusive live AMA tomorrow with AJ and Sparkswap with a popular pulse chain influencer. Yes, there is.
Yeah, yes, totally. We have AMAs lined up all week, and I know we had an AMA with Coach X, who's another Pulse influencer. Unfortunately, had to reschedule, but yeah, we have a ton this week, LA, for sure, right?
And there's a really big one coming up on the weekend too that you guys will have been asking for a long time. And I think you'll all be happy about that one too.
Yeah, so just make sure you show up. Again, when we announce who it is and when it will be, please make sure you're supporting us and retweeting and commenting. All that really, really helps.
hmm So last question, are we going to be able to bridge E-bonds?
Yeah, so that was a really great point, and honestly, something that we a little bit overlooked. So yeah, obviously we want to support the bondholders, maybe even more than EMP and eShare. So yeah, I would say that is definitely something that we are looking into. Again, it's just a very delicate balance of adding too many farms and too many pools in too short amount of time because the APR is affected the more that we add. So we have to be very delicate with that. Um, but yeah, I mean, again, we obviously want to support all the ecosystem holders. So and bonds again, arguably are the most helpful. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna lobby to get either a bond farmer pool that an e-bond pool that might work just to incentivize people to actually buy bonds. So we may end up just doing a single stake on e-bonds just as a thank you for those that support EMP. So yeah, all of that is definitely something that we're looking into. We're just trying to get the low-hanging fruit first. Again, what I mean by low-hanging fruit is the least amount of effort with the most financial impact. So arbitrage bots, moving into our own LP, the bridge itself, like those are the things that we really need to prioritize right now because that's direct revenue to Spark and Sparkler. But yeah, all those other things will absolutely be on the list.
Awesome. Well, those are all the questions.
Amazing. Yeah, today was a great one. Again, I know it's short and sweet. LA and I both have been really tired. We have a case of the Mondays. Today we've been going nonstop, man. What we did, I posted it in one of the other updates. We did like 30 AMAs in 20 days, so we're
Yeah.
yeah, we're feeling it today for sure. But yeah, I mean, we're not slowing down. Just trying to continue to be as productive as we can be maintain all the momentum. And yeah, I think today's AMA was a ton of alpha for all of you. So definitely, spread the word. Again, be active in the chat about what's coming. and help us continue to move forward. So, all right, LA, any final words or any other last minute things you want to go over? Go ahead.
Thank you so much for joining us. We've got a ton of you on here tonight. It's amazing to see this community growing bigger and bigger, and so many of you here that are just such great additions to the community. So thank you for being here. We love our Mondays and Thursdays with you, and we're looking forward to joining you again on Thursday. But just as we mentioned, make sure to keep watch of the groups and the sites this week, because a lot of what's dropping is going to be stealth. So just make sure to be observant.
Amazing, absolutely, LA. Well said. We get on these AMAs and we give as much alpha as we can, but those that are actually paying attention and engaged and keeping an eye out for the new farms and the new updates, you are the ones that, again, will always be rewarded for sure. So, all right, again, I know today was a little bit short and sweet, but jam-packed nonetheless. Before we wrap up here, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Again, our numbers have slowly been getting better and better and better on YouTube, so thank you all that are showing up to these AMAs and continuing to engage with us. If you have a question that we did not get to, please feel free to let us know in our Discord. We have a specific area in Discord for all of our AMA questions, or just show up again today. They were here an hour early for Mondays and Thursdays at 6:45 p.m. Eastern, and type your question directly into our live chat, and we're happy to answer. So, all right, that will do it then. So, again, thank you all for being here. Much love to all of you, and we'll see you on Thursday again, 6:45 p.m. Eastern, and hopefully we have even more updates with the bridge, this week, absolutely for sure. So, all right, guys, take it easy. Good night, good day. See you on Thursday.